Hello, Dee. How are you? And is it doing okay? It's not um, buffering or messing up or anything, is it? Oh, oh, funny. Yeah, and I don't normally, but I thought, well, I did tell everybody I was doing it, so okay. One more thing here. Looking for one more. Good. I'm not quite recovered yet. I've been fighting having to go or like try not to go to sleep. Oh, it's my problem. I have my earbuds in the wrong thing, so I don't know how my sound is, um but yeah, I fought the desire to take a nap all day long. So it usually takes me, I don't recover well from traveling or from doing these these meetings that we do. So it takes me a little while. All right, let me okay. James has a um, system update that's taking him forever. So, all right. So we have some fun stuff. We talked about this the other night a little bit, and I hadn't been able to show it, but um, I'm going to show it tonight because one of the reasons I wanted to use this was not only because we can invite people on to be on, be in the conversation, but also because it will allow me to show my screen too. And so um, that allows me to do a little bit more, which is what I was wanting to do. I don't know where everyone is. They're like, boy, what are you doing so early? I was thinking maybe, early would help people. I didn't want to run over anybody too much, so I thought maybe early would help that, but it didn't work. Um, so I got a comment on my YouTube on my videos about pedophilia. I got one comment, someone who was um, saying that if I was going to be anti-MAP, the minor attracted persons, that I needed to be the opposite of that as well, which is that I should be treating or saying the same things about the children, how they put it, children, preteens, and teens who are attracted to adults. And so um, I shouldn't be treating the maps differently than I'm treating the kids who are sexually attracted, specifically sexually attracted um, to adults. So that was an interesting feedback. I took a little bit of time and responded to him. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to think that maybe that wasn't a personal thing for him. So, but I just responded with my why I think there's a difference between those two parties. The I think it's an unfair foundation, an unfair foundation to the argument to say that a child has the same is on an equal standing as an adult. So I was a little bit more wordy when I left my comment, but yeah, that was the basics of it. To say that it's not a fair comparison. So, all right, who else is on? And earlier when I did this, we noticed that there might be a little bit of a lag, maybe 10 to 15 seconds from the point that you put in a comment and I actually see it. So, oh, hey, Robert. What are you laughing about, Robert? Did you catch the end of our comment about our conversation about the comment that was left on one of my videos? Well, welcome home, Robert. How far behind are you? Oh yeah, we were just talking about how about a comment that somebody had left on one of my pedophilia videos. Just really kind of telling me that um, it was unfair of me to be treating maps one way and not treating the children, preteens, and teens who are sexually attracted to adults in the same vein. That I needed to be saying the same things about the children that I was saying about the maps. So I spent a little bit of time responding to that one today. Okay, so what I wanted to do though tonight is give a couple updates. One, an update on, well, we talked the other night or last night or a couple nights ago, whatever, And I had mentioned that I um, get a little frustrated with, um, I don't know, our side. I'll say our side, um, putting out things and not making it obvious if it's a joke or a parody or um, trying to make a point or whatever. And so it can have people responding in bad ways. Bad ways. It can make us look foolish because we're responding to something that isn't actually true. Um, Hello, Joe Mama. I saw you and I thought hello and I didn't actually say it, so I'm sorry. um, I sometimes do that where I think I've done something and I haven't. Um, anyway, and then we're gonna have a little update, um, kind of as a ridiculous twist on the first video I did, and then I'd like to open it so that you guys can jump on here if you want. And we did figure out that if you want to be part of the conversation, but you do not want to be on screen, that you can actually choose to not um, have your video on, but it still allows you to be part of the conversation. So that's always a possibility, and it's fun. I like to be able to have the conversation in the back and forth. Um, so let's do this. Okay, so this is the first one I'm going to show. So this is the tweet that I was talking about. So I'm finally able to show it. This tweet says, "Not a flag in sight on the stage of the Democrat debate, but there is a pentagram, Satan's logo, on the ceiling. Just saying." Okay, so this is the image that went out with that. Um, can y'all see that okay? That's right, my ESP powers. If it's too small, I could make it larger. Try that, actually. Mm. All right, so that's the picture that they showed. And so based on the responses and all that, I started looking for other pictures. And the pictures that I was finding, um, that's empty, right? So again, either someone was trying to um, light it up, or someone was trying to make a point or make a joke or something like that, but it just wasn't obvious enough that it was a fake, um, that it made people, make comments and stuff like that that, didn't make us look good. Um, so I enjoy, the parodies, or yeah, it was mocked up. Someone, someone took what was. So this is the picture um, of what it actually was, and then they just added, they photoshopped in the red in here. Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't mind jokes and parodies. I mean, obviously, look at my first video that I did, but it should be pretty obvious that that's what you're doing. It should be pretty obvious that it is a joke. Um, Um, and um, so anyway, that was just the thing I was talking about the other night that was kind of frustrating to me that I thought I would show you guys what I was talking about. All right, so now um, I'm going to bounce over to this one. Let me see, is that working? No, it's not. I have to figure out the way to do this. Okay, hold on. I have to. Okay, so you guys saw my video. Yeah, no, I mean, and the point is well made, right? I just wish that it had been kind of obvious that it was a joke or, mocked up. Okay, so then you guys saw my first video where I was, calling for outrage and protests and all that. Well, apparently I wasn't the only one, although I didn't, I was doing it by joke. So, transgender activists force menstrual products brand Always to remove woman symbol from packaging. Okay, so Always, a brand of menstrual products, has been forced to scrub the woman symbol off their packaging in response to a coordinated effort by transgender activists to punish the brand for discrimination against transgender individuals. The Daily Mail reports that the Procter & Gamble-owned brand caved to a boycott campaign that began when transgender activists noticed that Always placed the Venus symbol, a circle with a plus sign or cross beneath it, universally recognized as the sign for the female gender, on the wrappers of some of its sanitary products. Again, I forgot I wasn't plugged in. Right. A trans activist using the pseudonym Mellyboom had tweeted in July asking Always why it was imperative to have the sign on their sanitary products, according to the Daily Mail. The tweet said, "There are non-binary and trans folks who still need to use your products too, you know." Ostensibly, Mellyboom is referring to female to male transgender individuals who may identify as a different gender but who do not undergo surgical or medical transition, which would make them theoretically male, but with a female reproductive system and monthly periods. Some social media users also claim that transgender females can have period-like symptoms once a month. A high-profile transgender activist named Ben Saunders also pestered Always in June after the release of a documentary about Saunders' transition from female to male. The Always team replied directly to Saunders after making their decision, telling Saunders that "We are glad to inform you that as of December, we will use a wrapper design without the feminine symbol." Okay, so now what's interesting about this too, and I was having a conversation the other night. It might have been Robert Wallace and I were talking about this, and maybe KK was in on it too. But anyway, we were talking about how there's so many subsets. We've partitioned ourselves off so much, and we've sectioned ourselves up so much that when no one is supposed to offend anybody, but the problem is when you make such little specific groups and so many of these little specific groups, then eventually you're not going to be able to avoid offending each other. Okay, so this goes on and it says, okay, the brand's public relations team added that the change will come in late 2019 and that gender neutral period products would hit stores in January of 2020. The announcement comes on the heels of National Period Day. Oh my gosh, really? We have a National Period Day? When did this happen? This is apparently a nationwide push for menstrual equity. the nonprofit organization Period, which organized 60 national rallies around the subject, wants Congress and state legislatures to start providing menstrual hygiene products like pads and tampons free of charge through Medicaid to state and federal employees. Through Medicaid to state and federal employees. Residents of women's shelters, public school students, and prison inmates. Contenders for the 2020 Democratic presidential nomination got in on the menstrual frenzy. Okay, the fact that I'm even reading this, the fact that we even have this conversation going on, I mean, really. Tweeting their support for expanded access to menstrual hygiene products, and many were careful to display their wokeness by suggesting that people, not just women, get periods. Okay, so here's the deal. When I did that video, I really was kidding. Okay, just nobody blame me for being part of this. That was a joke. I was being outrageous. Oh, heavens. So, Cory Booker and all of his brilliance. Too many people don't have access to basic health needs like menstrual products, whether due to lack of income, incarceration, or gender identity. It's outrageous. Join at Period Movement for National Period Day on 10/19 and support the fight for menstrual equity. nationalperiodday.com. Oh, heavens. Okay. The occasion also became a flashpoint for the same transgender activism that drove Always to drop the female symbol from their packaging. A number of the intersectional feminists and transgender activists took to social media to remind period protesters that it's discriminatory to assume only women menstruate. Any gender can get their period. Any gender can get their period. Any gender can get their period. Oh, heavens. All right. Nearly 1 in 2 low-income people who menstruate have had to choose between being able to afford a meal or menstrual hygiene products. Having a period with dignity shouldn't be a luxury. Not all women menstruate, and not all who menstruate are women. Period equality is simply about equality. Period. So very deep. We all need to talk about periods, especially if we as a society are going to be serious about fighting for progress towards gender equality, global development, and breaking the cycle of poverty. Okay, but not everyone is happy with intersectional menstrual activism. Feminists also took to social media in the wake of Always announcement to suggest that removing female symbolism from packaging is the first step to erasing the female gender and ending the women's rights movement. So again, we are sectioning ourselves up so much that we can't even get along with each other, and because we can't help offending each other, and everybody's getting offended about everything. Removing the female symbol from sanitary towel packaging is basically denying the existence of women, one prominent feminist told the Daily Mail. We're now moving towards the total elimination of women's biology. The women's symbol has been used by feminists for decades. This is pure cowardice and virtue signaling from these big corporate brands who are capitulating to the trans agenda. Well, it's interesting, right? So it's okay to capitulate to the women's lib agenda, to the feminist agenda, but it's not okay to capitulate to the trans agenda. This is where we get into problems, because we're sitting there bowing down and, twisting ourselves up into little pretzels, trying to make everyone happy, and trying to not offend anyone. And it's impossible. You can't not offend everyone all at the same time, if that makes any sense. I know that sounded weird, but you know what I mean. Hey, Bill, how are you? I don't hear a weird background noise, Dee. I don't know. And Robert, I understand. I feel your pain. I don't know. I can't even joke now about, joining with me in this, because now apparently stupid people are. Oh, you do hear it, huh? I do not know, because it's pretty quiet here. All right, so what do you guys think? And I'm actually going to, oh really? Okay, so now I've switched off of the article and I'm just back to the streaming. Is it better now? Did that noise go away? Oh, well, probably because the airwaves did not like that article, and I don't really blame them. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, and it's gone. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure why it did that, but I'm done with bringing that up. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to invite, I'm going to put the link in here. We're going to try this again and see if anybody wants to join in and we can continue in the conversation. And like I said, if you don't want to be on screen, you can cut the visual, so it's just your voice speaking. Voice speaking, of course, it's just your voice speaking, but you know what I mean. But it's fun stuff. We have some pretty good conversations on here, and it allows us to play off of each other instead of me just yapping at you. Yeah, so all you have to do is click on the link and then jump on in. Okay, so there's another one actually, while you guys are deciding if you're going to jump in and really wanting to, because I know you do. There was I had pulled it up on my phone. Okay, so this was another one of these questions that I was going to ask you about. I got a weird message on YouTube. What is this? Twitter also. Still trying to figure that out, but okay. So there was this tweet. The media is praising Nancy Pelosi for pointing her finger at the real Donald Trump. They are calling Pelosi a hero, kind of like when they called Caitlyn Jenner a hero for dressing like a woman. I'm not sure people know what the word hero means anymore. So I agree. It's kind of ridiculous. So that's kind of one of my questions. That's the next question I'm going to ask you guys. What is a hero? Oh, Dee. Yeah, I hope you start feeling better soon. You have a good night. All right, so what is a hero? Is Caitlyn Jenner a hero for dressing like a woman? Well, hey there. Can you hear me? Bill? Well, hey there. Woo! Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, but I can also hear me.
You have background music going or something.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, but I can also hear you. Hold on, you have to mute
You have
one
background music
something.
going or something. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but I can also hear you. Hold on, you have to mute
You have
one
background music
something.
going or something. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but I can also hear you. Hold on, you have to mute
Eek.
Music or something.
Are you on two devices?
That's weird.
Are you on two devices?
That's weird. Okay, I think this went well.
Are you on two devices? Hold on, let me see.
No. No.
Okay, so hold on. I just muted you for just a second on my side.
See ya.
Okay, now what was that? Huh? Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Okay, Bill, we're gonna have to try that again because we know it worked. We've done it before. So, did you use a different device when you've done it before? Okay, in the meantime, oh, hey, Headless. All right. Okay, how's that?
Shall we try this again?
Well, nothing's squealing at me yet, so that's good.
Oh my God.
Try this again.
Okay, but I'm still hearing the echoing. Why am I hearing us talk to
Oh,
us?
it's getting weird.
Try this again.
Can you hear that? Or am I the only one hearing that?
Try this again.
Everything's on a loop.
Can you hear that?
Yes, I can hear that. It sounds like shit. It's not live. It's weird.
Yes, I can hear that. It's not live.
Close up.
I know,
Can you
right?
hear me right now? No.
Can I mute you? Right there, I mute you. I can't hear. I muted you. Okay. Oh, whoa. I didn't hear you when you first.
This thing happened. Something happened.
Oh, that's so weird. I can see your lips moving, and then I hear you a minute later. Well, not a full minute, but.
Yes.
Oh, that's so weird. I can see your lips moving, and then I hear you a minute later.
Yeah.
Well, not a full minute, but. That is so weird.
I can hear this, and it's like on a delay. We should end this now.
Okay. Someone else has to pop on, and we have to see if it's just you.
We should end this now.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna mute you for just a second. Don't go away. Oh, okay, he went away. Okay, so someone else. Any of the guys? Do you want to pop in and see if we can see if it's just Bill? Then we can blame him because that'll be fun. Or it helps me figure out if it's something going on here. I don't know what the issue is. So all you have to do is click on the link and just follow it in, put your name in, whatever you want to put in. Yeah, I'm not sure how to fix that because I don't know if it's on Bill's side. I don't know if it's because of this in general, but okay, Bill. It's doing it again.
This is bad. This is bad. It is.
Well, your lips are moving with your voice now. I mean, that's good.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up. That's it. I'm not doing it anymore.
No, it's
We'll go
working.
live after you, though.
Wait, it might be working. Just give it one more second.
Give it one more second.
Yeah, because it hasn't. Do that again. Okay, you guys, it's working, right? Because his lips and his sound are moving at the same time. Okay, try it, Bill. Headless is asking if you're wearing any headphones or using external speakers.
Okay, try it, Bill.
Oh, see, now I hear myself again.
Headless is asking.
Nope.
Okay, well, you at least are sounding good. And you're not screeching at me, so I like that. Great Informer says the noise was worse than nails on a chalkboard. But it's not going right now. So did you get to see the articles and stuff that I had pulled up? Bill?
No, I didn't. I didn't. Tell me all about them. Were they good?
Well, you remember my video on hygiene products?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Okay, so apparently I did not realize this, but apparently back in June and July, there were actual transgender activists who did create about that. And now the company Always is taking the symbol off of their packaging.
Yeah.
December of this year. So come January, there's going to be gender neutral packaging for their hygiene products.
That's just dumb.
I know. But what's even funnier about it, and not funny because it's really dumb and stupid and horrible, but what is funny about it is that now you've got the feminists upset because by taking that off, you're erasing like everything that women have fought for. So now you've got the people who are on all these little specialized groups. Now they're getting offended at each other because, when you specialize these little groups, as much as we are, you can't avoid but offend each other because everybody's got to be offended thing. And now, all these activist groups are now getting offended at each other.
Yeah. No, that's right on. That's true. That's true. You're watching an implosion happen right in front of our faces. And it starts in our everyday life, where we are just. I have to turn this down. Hang on. Sorry. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
This is very weird. All right. So it's very strange, Mel, because if I turn the volume down, then I can't hear you. But if I turn it down, then I don't have this like 5-second delay going on, which that's what I need. So let me go back to this point, is that what's going on in our culture, what's going on with people, and what the perception is through television, and what they are trying to paint is everything that the direction of this country was going into. It was going into this direction. It was going into the direction of socialism, and really progressive socialism. Is that they really, really want to put the cherry on top and make these, put these people on these stands against these atrocities of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is that what everybody's upset about in life is really only about 3% of the people in the world. It's like, but they put them on the pedestal. They put them in the mainstream television, and then they get out there, and then they start raising their voices. And it's because a platform has been put out there for them that they get the attention to address this type of stuff.
Mhm.
I, for one, am kind of sick of it. And I don't know how this interview is going to work out because I'm seriously in a like 5 second delay for everything that I say. I hear it 5 seconds later. So I don't know if we can do this, Mel, but I just thought I'd get my thoughts out
Mhm.
while I had this opportunity so that these technical difficulties can be fixed. But I just, you know, I'm fed up with it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of listening to liberal left lunatics spout what they spout. I'm just done with it.
Mhm.
Fed up with them. And I think a lot of people are fed up with them. And we'll go into that more later. Probably do a live stream when this is done. Maybe a quick one, but not to impugn your work. Please proceed. Proceed, madam. Proceed. And, you know, fire up our minds. Get us coming. Get us going. And with that, I'm going to bid you an adieu because there's no way we can have this conversation after I'm done talking. Okay?
Oh, poor Bill. I'm sorry. We have got to figure out our technical difficulties here, because we can have some great conversations, and we've had them on this platform. So I don't know what's going on, um, but no, it's true. We are so. um, I'm sorry. It's what I was doing too. I was like, okay, don't speak, just nod my head. But it's true. It's just, well, and it's the 3%, right? But it's the 3 to 5%, and that's the thing. There, we want to talk about normal, or we don't want to say abnormal, but abnormal is an actual statistical term. When you are outside of that bell curve, when you are outside of that bell curve, you know, you are an outlier. It's it's not, um, it's not meant to be an offensive term. It's just fact. That's, um, that's what statistically you are. And they have been given a platform. And it's not, here's the thing. If the homosexual community, or any of these other little, you know, subsets, um, if they want to go about their business, you know, be in their bedroom, whatever, that's one thing. But I'm not having marches down the street, to celebrate my heterosexuality, right? I don't expect everyone else to bow down to my heterosexuality. I don't have, you know, naked bike rides through the city streets because of my heterosexuality, and I don't expect people to, jump on board with me about that. Um, that's my business. And so this idea that we have to, um, hold up, and we have to recognize, and we have to pay attention, and we have to have as part of our conversation what someone else is doing in their bedroom, or their kitchen, or their, back patio, or whatever, you know, is not, um, is it's just ridiculous. It's, as a stranglehold, um, on society. And at the whim of a very small portion of the population. So it's ridiculous. And or in their woman cave. um, so anyway, oh, so this is kind of cool. Let me see. Okay, I'll show that one. Okay, so I'm not, I don't necessarily follow all of your jokes, Great Informer. I appreciate them. I just, because they're flashing by so much, I'm not seeing them as much. But all right, Headless or Robert or Great Informer. I'm a little afraid of that one. Do any of you want to jump on and see if we can see if this is a Bill thing or if this is this program thing? I know it works, but AOC find the sugar daddy with a pack of Splenda. AOC cuts through the woods to walk in the forest. Oh my goodness. It's a little deep. It's a little deep. Okay. No, Bill, that is not, we are gonna fix this. We are going to fix this. If I am nothing else, I am determined. So obsessive compulsive right here. We're gonna do it until we do it right. Okay, so at my meeting this week or last week or whatever, the national director was saying that he had a coach in high school in Texas high school football who would say, do it right and do it light, do it wrong and do it long. So he was explaining about them doing, oh heavens, man. Okay, well, Robert, while you're on here, are you what browser do you use to okay, Google Chrome. Are you using Google Chrome? Me and my half sentences. Bill, we know that works. We've done this. We know it works. So I don't know what's going on tonight. I'll get you, my pretty. Yeah, I don't know where that came from. It just did. Oh, no, you don't have to, Great Informer. I just don't necessarily catch them all. So on your Chrome on your motorcycle, I get it now. Okay. Well, YouTube has a kind of love affair with Google Chrome. So I have realized that if I try to go on Internet Explorer or something else, I don't know that I've tried the Brave browser yet, but if I try it, if I don't do Google Chrome, then it does the little spinny thing, Robert. So that might be your issue. You should try that. And now that you downloaded it, you should try the link again, Robert. Oh, and then Robert Wallace and KK and I figured out last night that when we do this when I'm not live, because we had a call last night that was not. Oh, that's true. That's true, but I wanted this to work, Bill. Okay, Great Informer, do you have Google Chrome? Because only a few people have my phone number. And I'm not trying to be rude. I just, it's not something I generally give out over the internet. But if you have Google Chrome, you should be able to try this. And Robert, since you downloaded it, you should be able to try this now. And it should work. So, Bill, are you saying that I should pull you back in? You don't think I should just give my phone number out all over the place? 555. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me see. All right, hold on. I'm being slow, I know. Surprise. Hello. Okay, so you're on.
Yeah, so I pull up Chrome, but
Hello. Okay, so you're on.
you gotta give me here.
Oh, yeah, you have to mute. You have to mute the show. Oh, which means I can't have this. Okay, and in the meanwhile, the question at hand is, what is a hero? Yes, it's Robert.
Give again.
Okay, so I'm letting everybody know that it's Robert Nazawa on the phone. Can you guys hear him okay? Speak, Robert.
Yes.
You're being very quiet.
Edna.
What?
Yeah.
Robert?
Yeah, no.
Okay. Okay, so any thoughts on what we've discussed so far?
I'm sorry, I actually missed it because I was trying to do this Google Chrome thing on my computer.
Okay, so did you get it
I'm a little
downloaded?
behind, right?
Well, see, I didn't give you much time to actually get home and get settled. I said, hey, Robert, hop on. Okay, so for everyone in the chat, though, what is a hero? Because I had read a tweet. Bill, I don't know if you saw that one. I had read a tweet. A
hero?
Yeah.
My what I feel a hero is?
Okay, so let me give you the setup for this, because the tweet said the media is praising Nancy Pelosi for pointing her finger at real Donald Trump. They are calling Pelosi a hero, kind of like when they called Caitlyn Jenner a hero for dressing like a woman. I'm not sure people know what the word hero means anymore. So that's my question. What is a hero?
Off the top of my head, somebody who sustains someone's well-being or improves it.
Someone who what? Someone well-being?
Sustains someone's well-being or improves their well-being.
Okay, I still missed that. I'm so sorry.
Someone who sustains someone's well-being or
Sustains.
improves their well-being.
Okay, so someone who sustains or improves someone else's well-being.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Okay.
I don't know. I can't get this thing to work.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I think though that your live streaming issue, I think that might be it.
Okay.
Because it won't let me live stream if I try to do it on Internet Explorer or something. It only but I have to switch over to Google. It'll do the same thing. It'll do the spinning thing. It'll just say it's going live and just keep spinning.
Okay, gotcha. I gotta get this browser up and running.
Okay, so I will let you do that. And then let me know. I mean, I can maybe, I don't know. I've been asking for technical help, so I don't know if I can actually help, but if I can, I'll try to.
Yeah, but carry on with your show. I'll do it soon.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Okay, so Headless says first responders are military, and my personal hero is my grandfather. Okay, so personal hero is your grandfather. I'm not questioning that. I appreciate that, but tell us why. Why is your grandfather? I mean, I could call you and ask you about it. Great Informer says, God bless our first responders. Yeah, I mean, I think a hero does have to be someone who, in some way, shape, or form, puts themselves out for someone else. So Headless says, lived to be 102 and fought in the Second World War. Great Informer, I respect our men and women in uniform, but one has to ask the question, if it came down to it, would they fight with us against the enemies within our country if civil war broke out? Would they fight with us? Well, that's a good question. In the military, following direction, following orders, working as a team is important. But if you look at the Civil War, no. I don't think there's any reason to get upset. I think conversation is good. But if you look back at the Civil War, you had the Confederate Army, right? So you had people, sorry, who they talk about brother fighting brother, right? So even if you had one military before, when the states seceded, they built the Confederate Army. Civil war will not break out, in your opinion. How come, Bill? Do you think because Trump is going to play the fiddle well enough so that we don't get to that point? Do you think it's because we don't have, or people don't have the backbone to do that? Do you think it's because um, the other side will back down first and won't keep pushing, so we won't feel the need? And I'm not saying that I think it will. I'm just trying to pull out of what you're saying. Great Informer says, um, a hero is selfless, gives to others before meeting the needs of their own. Those who can make the hardest decisions without fear to their own well-being for the good of the many. Robert says, I am an anonymous hero being a blood donor. Tulsi Gabbard served in the military, but she runs on an anti-American platform for her campaign. The truth movement won't allow it. It's too strong now. Okay, so that's okay. So, but I have heard people in the truth movement saying that if things don't change, or if they continue to push, or if they try to take our, Second Amendment rights, that we will, that there will be an uprising. There will be another civil war. Um, who the Mercers are, I don't know. So anyway, I don't know. I was just throwing that out there, as far as um, the hero piece, because it's, I think, words matter. And like in my pedophilia videos, right, I talked about how we're trying to change, um, change things. It's not pedophiles anymore. It's MAPS, minor attracted persons, right? Um, you know, uh, you don't want to be female or male. You just change that, or you just say, oh, there isn't, um, there isn't um, a sex. What do they call that? Androgynous or whatever. Um, but I think words are important, and I think that um, what we say and the definitions of things, hero, um, it needs to mean something, right? And we start to just apply it to anything that we want to apply it to. I think we have to be careful about that. It waters down the value of the word hero when we do that. Okay, any other thoughts? It is already 10:35 my time. Oh, okay, Robert, I can see like this much of you. The bottom of your screen is very dark and I can't hear you. Are you speaking? All right, Robert, I still can't hear you. And you're not muted on this side. But at least we got you hooked in. So while you work on that, I'm going to check the chat. And in case you can't hear me, I will put something in the chat for it. Okay. Headless says, whoever can get rid of Common Core and state testing and get back to real teaching will be my hero. Our kids are doomed to to keep falling this socialism crap until then. um, oh, falling for this. Yeah, I mean, um, yeah, I mean, it is Common Core and it is state testing, but it's also just plain and simple social engineering. Um, you know, to one side, yes, it's a matter of not teaching well. And on the other side, it's a matter of spending their time teaching, um, well, the social aspects, social engineering, right? Bringing in Planned Parenthood, bringing in transgender performers to read to the school kids, bringing in, um, you know, what are these? You know, like equality and diversity and all of these things. So, yes, I agree that Common Core is an issue. However, prior to Common Core, we still had social engineering issues. So, until we kick that, until we say that it's a parent's job um, to raise their kids, it's a parent's job to talk to their kids about sex. It's a parent's job to talk to their kids about how they treat people. Um, until we say those things and we're trying to do, um, and we stop trying to um, have the school system, the education system, instill those values in kids, then we have a problem. Um, Trying to get, we need people to, and whatever people, the school systems or whatever, we need people to get out of the relationship between a parent and their child. Okay. Betsy DeVos is trying to get rid of Common Core, but these Democrat-controlled states are giving her a hard time. Yeah, I mean, the thing is that people knew pretty early on that Common Core was not working. Um, but when there's agenda, when things are driven by an agenda, it's not as easy as saying, "Oh, something's not working, and so we're going to get rid of it." Because if it's serving the agenda, that's a whole different fight. Okay, the bill show Robert Mercer funded anti-radical Islamic ads, and we're responsible for funding the super PAC that sponsored those billboards, ripping AOC for the lost. Oh, we're responsible. Okay, for the lost Amazon jobs. I don't know anything about the Mercers. Great Informer. Anti-bullpucky. I love that. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing is the way that I educate my children is using a classical model, which really is just the way that every person, whether you're young or old, it's how anyone learns anything new. It's the process. It's teaching someone how to learn, not what to learn. It's taking the experts out of it, because in life you don't always have the expert to run to say what's the answer, right? You need to be able to not only be able to answer the questions correctly, but you need to be able to know how to ask questions and then how to find the answers for those questions. Not how the modern education system works. Modern education works, to very much in if you learn to manipulate, how to take tests, how to study for the um, store and dump, right? I just have to dump it into the test next week, and then I move on. Um, and they don't know how to learn something on their own. Um, so the classical model, that's what the classical model focuses on. That's what it's all about. It's how to learn anything. Kids are only in their parents' home for 18-ish years, right? I mean, give or take, right? They're only in school for so long. Um, with my kids, there's so much that I know that I think that they should know. And there are so many things that I know exist, but I don't know about that I think that they should know. And then there are all these things that I know that I don't know about, or I don't even know they exist. And I think they should know about them. But I can't do that all in 18 years in my home. So what do I need to do? I need to teach them how to learn anything new, how to learn on their own, how to tackle any new subject, and to know that they can, to know that there isn't a barrier that they can't cross when it comes to learning something new. I mean, yes, there are skills and all um, that help, or um, you know, I'm not saying that every will be able to do the splits, for example, right? There are certain things that physically or whatever you some people can't do. They can get better at it by stretching and whatever else, right? But as far as learning, we can learn anything. We just have to know how to learn. And so many of us were not taught how to learn, how to approach something that we don't know, how to ask questions, how to research, how to find answers. So, okay, I'm going to stop because now I'm getting on a little bit of a Bill rant of my own kind of education based rant. See what you did, Headless? All right, back to the chat. Uh-oh. You know what happened? I'm not sure what's Robert. You got a call today from the school because your 16-year-old told a teacher you're such a liberal because the teacher asked about kids' pronouns. Okay, sorry, Robert. Um, yeah, it's, here's the thing. I mean, at least your kid is 16, but really, why do kids have to deal with all of this? Um, why do they have to, I don't know, being a child, number one, there should be some carefreeness. I don't know if that's a word, but whatever, run with it, to being a child, right? They should be able to be carefree. They should, and then, as they're going through their teen years and all of that, um, there's so much junk that they have to deal with, especially in the school system, that we don't need to add more onto their shoulders. We don't need to keep piling on all this social crap. They have enough, you know, um, kind of false social crap going on in the school that they have to deal with. Excuse me. So, Headless, what was your response? That is what I'd like to know. Okay, so you're saying that the Mercers are Great Informer? The Mercers are on our side? And Bill, pronouns go. Are you saying we should start naming listing our pronouns? Because I'm thinking, if it's not obvious, then I'm in trouble. We were joking last night. KK and Robert Wallace and I were joking about because I was having a down day yesterday. Everything was nice and down, and no hair done, no contacts, no makeup. I was in a bathrobe. I'm like, I'm not going live right now. But we were joking about the fact that, by doing it privately, next time we're going to show up with face masks and, curlers in the hair and, doing some pedicures and manicures while we're on the chat together. Maxine Waters starves herself in front of a buffet. Okay, great informer. I appreciate that. I just have no idea what that means. I'm so sorry. Is that because she's so stupid that she's in front of a buffet and she's not eating? I said we are in a world with two genders, and I am worrying about that teacher offending my child. Who is the school deny scientific fact? Who's the school to deny scientific fact? Well, my son will be spending the next 3 days with me. You know what? Way to go, Headless. Because that's ridiculous. They don't need to be, no. There are two genders. And this whole thing about the, bleeding when, or needing, feminine hygiene products when they're a man. Well, no, see, that's the whole point. You're not a man. You're not. You're actually a woman. Your DNA says you're a female. Before you rip them out, the parts that you came with say you were female. Insubordination. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I'm thinking about this. To a degree, I guess it depends on how he said it, or he or she. I guess you could come across really snotty, but it was truth, So, insubordination, huh? Wisdom out of the equation, but also absolutes. Everything is about relativism, right? And that's the thing. You want to be about relativism if it's, it's not okay for me, but, it's okay for you. But anything that you do like that, how far are you going to take that? And how do you excuse stopping it at any point? So if it's okay for me to, or if it's not okay, this happens with abortion all the time. I hear this with abortion all the time, that, I wouldn't have an abortion, but, it's okay for somebody else. So we have just completely put aside the fact that there is a right and a wrong. There is fact, like Headless. Scientifically, there is male and there is female. I can't remember what you said. Who are they to deny scientific fact? Yeah. And that's the thing. Relativism, it completely takes logic, fact, and it completely throws those things out the window. Um, and that's just, what do you do with that? Because there will be someone somewhere who will continue to push it. Well, you said that relativism was okay here. Why isn't it okay here? And now you're being discriminatory, and heaven forbid we're discriminatory in this society. My goodness. It's like you just killed somebody. But apparently, killing somebody would be okay as long as it fits into the proper places in relativism, right? I mean, it's, I wouldn't kill somebody, but I guess if you wanted to, who am I to say that's wrong? I mean, again, how far are we taking this thing? You should contact, um, I don't know, I'm thinking of like some of the Fox shows like Hannity or Greta or whatever, because that's what they've been having, those shows where they have, the kids who have gotten punished for stupid logical stuff, right? Beto O'Rourke lost his job as a male feminist gender studies professor. Now he currently plagues our country, spewing communist propaganda as a platform for his candidacy. And here's the thing: I am not someone who who thinks that a man can't speak, to women's issues, or a woman can't speak about men's issues. Um, but some things just don't need to be an issue. you know, um, an issue is, women being treated like cattle, and being beaten and raped. You know what? Hey, guys, speak up. It's not just a female issue. Go ahead, speak up about that, right? You know, it's not an issue to have the Venus symbol on a feminine hygiene product. That's not an issue. We don't need to be we don't need to be getting our panties all in a bunch because of the Venus symbol on a feminine hygiene product. Seriously, people. Can we not, you know, I don't know, use common sense, use logic, realize that some of this is just plain old stupid? I use one-liner jokes to point out the ideology and thought process of those who want socialism and open borders. No, that's great. That's great. Great, Informer. um, that's cool. I appreciate it. I just don't always get them. So keep it up. It's all good. All right. Well, I know that Bill is wanting to go on, and it's like an hour and almost a half in here. 98 mental disorders. Okay, that's good. That's funny. I'm with you there. So I'm going to wrap it up and say goodnight. And oh, wait. Headless. Growing up, I was always taught to respect a lady, hold a door, address them with respect, and don't be ashamed to get them their hygiene products when needed. That's awesome. Well, I mean, see, that's the thing is that you can go in a store and you can buy this stuff. And at least in the past, people would know it's not for you. They know that you're just, helping a girl out, right? um, it's not like me going into Costco and like this cart of like, I mean, I have a few females in this house, so when I stock up, I stock up, and so that can be embarrassing sometimes, right? Like 5, 6 boxes and a big old Costco cart. You're like, just ring them up, buddy. Anyway, all right. Um,
I am looking forward to hearing from Bill because he always has good stuff to say. So I will see you guys there. Thank you for coming. Love you guys.